out to our annual meeting. Thanks for everybody finding a seat. Most of you did find your way to the front. That's great. I think our first order of business is to thank Wild Oats for this wonderful venue, for the wonderful food, and of course the bar. We're so fortunate to have this venue with great parking, great food, and it's in Brunswick, so we're very lucky. So I need my, okay, so I'm just gonna say this again. In case you haven't done it, we have a bucket up here with tickets for the raffle drawing, which is 2 $100 gift cards for the Buy Local. Yes, exactly. And there's 2 winners, not one winner gets 2 tickets. So you'll want to keep that in mind. Anyway, you won't want to miss out on that, and we're going to do that right at the end of the meeting, so don't leave early. So, my name is Dee Perry. Did you want to clap? Oh, closer. She says closer. Can everybody hear me? Okay. Okay. So my name is Dee Perry. And it has been my honor to be the board chair of the BDA for the past year. BDA is such an amazing, Tom, don't turn me up too much. BDA is such an amazing organization. Now he's made me lose my place. It's rewarding and exciting, and most of all, it's fun. It's fun to participate in all the activities and events that we do. This past year has been a very busy year, and you'll hear more from our incredible executive director, but I won't steal her thunder. I'm going to move right on to what I would like to say. I'd like to express a huge appreciation to the BDA staff, Deb, Patty, and Tom. You do such an amazing job to pull all the million moving parts to any event. They all come together and it seems seamless to the outside world. But trust me, it's not an easy task. And they do a fantastic job. They deserve another round of applause. I'd also like to say thank you to our board of directors. We have such a wonderful group. They're a great group of worker bees. You will see each and every one of them at all of our events. Not maybe all of them at all of our events, but you will see them throughout the year at our events. And there's such a great group of people to work with, and I'm so pleased that I get to do that year after year. I'd like to thank our visitor staff and our visitor center staff, visitor center volunteers, and our event volunteers, the town of Brunswick, for all their support for us, and the community members who come out every time we have an event to make that successful. And before Deb gets the hook, one last comment. Where's that hook? Ah, maybe I can stay up here. No. None of what BDA does is possible without you, our members. And for you, I want to say thank you so much for making our organization successful. Thank you so much.
Hi everybody, I'm Annie O'Rourke, Development Chair, and I am thrilled to be the one to recognize and announce our sponsor for this evening. It's our very own downtown, family-owned Riley Insurance. Thank you so much, Riley. Riley has been a member and a sponsor for decades. And without members and community members like that, we couldn't possibly do it. So please remember Riley Insurance. Thank you, folks. And now for the really official part of this business, I'm going to introduce Matt Orlando. Thanks, Matt.
Thanks, Annie. At this point in the proceedings, we are calling for the members of the Brunswick Downtown Association to elect the 2023 directors of the Brunswick Downtown Association. There are no new nominations for the board, and the following directors will serve out the remainder of their terms. Please stand as I call your name. Anne Marie Albiston, Kathy Barter, Robert Biggs, Frank Brown, Tom Carr, Michael Cartwright, Peggy Elahan, Mike Feldman, Catherine Ferdinand, Keith Garavoy, Don Nisley, Bob Langworthy, Rebecca Launer, Christine Logan, Jane Millett, Deirdre Perry, Henry Recknagel, Brian Robinson, Marshall Shepard, and Hannah Simler. I'm calling for a motion from the members present to elect this slate of candidates. Do I have one? Do I have a second? All those members in favor of this slate of candidates, please signal by saying aye. Aye. All those voting nay? Any abstentions? Okay, the ayes have it. I am now calling for a motion from the newly elected board to elect the officers of the BDA Board of Directors. Please stand as I call your name. Brian Robinson, Chair. Don Nisley, Vice Chair. Rebecca Launer, Secretary. Bob Langworthy, Treasurer. Do I have I need a second, actually. I've made the motion. Thank you. All those BDA board members in favor of the slate of officers of the BDA Board of Directors, please signal by saying aye. Aye. All those voting nay. Any abstentions? The ayes have it. Congratulations to all of you, and thank you for serving the Brunswick Downtown Association.
Thanks, Matt. That's becoming quite a tradition. We appreciate you helping us out with that. I'd like to recognize our honorary board members, and if you would please stand when I call your name. David Knight, Mary Lou Kennedy, Roxanne Rathjay, Claudia Knox, Annie O'Rourke, and Mark Rockwood. Thank you, folks, for always standing by.
Good evening. My name is Catherine Ferdinand. I'm a BDA board member and chair of the design committee. It's my honor tonight to get us started on the award portion of the program by recognizing the 2023 Volunteer of the Year. This past year of accomplishments that we're about to celebrate would not be possible without the efforts and dedication of so many board and community members who volunteer. So choosing just one person to receive recognition of the Volunteer of the Year is never an easy task. This year, however, a candidate jumped to the top of that list. This year's award winner was incredibly generous with her time and talent, meticulously attentive to detail, quality, and customer service, brought only a can-do attitude to any problem, and exhibited grace in the face of challenge. I am honored to present Volunteer of the Year to Hannah Simler. Now I get to torture her just a little bit. Hannah joined the design committee in 2021, ready to roll up her sleeves and do something. Those are her words, not mine. She wanted to find something that would add interest and engage residents and visitors in the downtown area. And when Rob Biggs posed the idea of the Adirondack Chair Project, Hannah enthusiastically volunteered to do the legwork. legwork. Well, legwork quickly became leadership, and the Have a Seat project was born. From soliciting sponsors for chairs, connecting businesses with potential artists, working with town staff to okay locations for the chairs, dealing with the drop-off and security, problem solving and punting, and working with Patty to produce the catalog and then orchestrate the very successful online auction. Hannah got her wish. She indeed did something. And what she also did from June through September was travel up and down Main Street to routinely check on what I'm gonna call her chairs, like her little children, to assess them for any damage, make sure bolts remain tight, to replace sponsors' name tags if so needed, and rumor has it there might have even been a little woodworking repair. And did I mention that she took all this on while also showing up to help with numerous Music on the Mall events, attending art walks. Perhaps you might have purchased a raffle ticket from her one evening while she donned her Adirondack chair pin. And oh yeah, tending to the ordinary tasks of running her own business and parenting. Hannah, for your contagious enthusiasm in facing any challenge, your amazing volunteer ethic, and the gracious gift of your time and energy, it is my great pleasure to present you with the 2023 Volunteer of the Year Award.
Thank you. It was an absolute joy to do this project, to see the community come together and the sponsors give their money and find artists, watching the creativity of the painters, and just in general see the volunteer and the community come together it filled my heart, and I know it filled the hearts of the people of our community. Thank you for that opportunity. And two, if you were to do it one more year, so if you would like to sponsor, if you would personally like to sponsor your business or you want to paint a chair this summer, there is opportunity. So grab me on the way out or contact the BDA staff. We would love to have you join and participate in this project. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Brian Robinson, branch manager at Maine Community Bank in Brunswick. I serve as the chair of the membership committee, and I'm pleased to announce the Crier as the member of the year in 2022. Would representatives please come forward? The Crier is a local family-owned and operated free monthly newspaper serving the southern mid-coast. The people that make the Crier possible include Charlie Crosby III, Linda Perry, Keith Spiro, among many other community members. The paper started in 1985 as the Brunzuck Crier, a weekly good news community newspaper by the Tripp family. After many years contributing to the paper in the 1990s, Charlie took over the paper in 2007. Since then, the Crier has been grown in the community support from only 6 advertisers to now mailing over a 48-page paper to 25,000 households and dropping off thousands more between Wiscasset and Yarmouth. At BDA events like the Arts Festival, Music on the Mall, or the Community Barbecue, you'll see Charlie or Keith taking pictures. Those pictures, along with a detailed article, are then printed in the Crier, informing the public of the events and its community importance. This coverage is unique to the Crier and especially relevant to the members in downtown Brunswick. The dedication and passion about the community is evident since this paper is developed outside of work and during free time. Quoting the words of Charlie, "It truly takes a village to make any community project work. It is because of the residents and businesses in this unique Bath-Topsom region, in Brunswick region, that make it possible." The BDA is a proud advertiser and appreciates the good news that is spread directly to local mailboxes about the BDA events and our members. It is because of the unique complementary relationship between the downtown community and the crier and the benefits it provides to the community. The 2022 BDA Member of the Year is the crier.
I'll be brief. I want to thank my family who stood behind me, my kids, early on when I took this on after Bertie Tripp passed away in 2007. And I went to Margaret and actually said, what's going to happen? And she said, well, I found a note, and Bertie said, you're taking over the paper. And so I wasn't prepared, and I decided to do that, and I'm glad I did. But it was a challenge because it used to be just a Topsom paper, and now it's a regional paper, and we mail to all the homes in the region, including Bath. And we started Brunswick in 2018. So I couldn't do it without Linda, who's my assistant editor and coastal foodie. If you read about her Italian trip, it's her second, in this issue, there'll be the second installment, and her Italy trip. And Keith Sparrow is everywhere. And I think it was Rob Jarrett that said to me one day, he says, you're that ubiquitous guy. So the crier really is trying to be what the other newspapers used to be, is trying to cover good news, good community news. We stay away from the bad stuff. We appreciate, though, all of our advertisers, like the Brunswick Rec Department, and all of our advertisers, Bob, and, everyone who's supported the paper, even at $25, $30, it helps us because the postage is very expensive. So we appreciate all you do to keep this paper going. We want this local good news community newspaper. Thank you, and we love this recognition. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Mike Feldman, and I'm the chairman of the Brunswick Downtown Association Economic Vitality Committee. Tonight, I have the honor of giving the award out for the BDA Business of the Year. The Business of the Year award is given to a Brunswick Downtown Association member, profit or nonprofit, whose exemplary actions help further the vision, the mission, and the goals of the BDA. This year's winner is 165. Is Eileen here? Warmly familiar and vibrantly fresh, 165 is the new face of the reimagined Brunswick Inn. After a fire in the main house in 2021, owner Eileen Horner has created the Inn of Her Dreams. Eileen has at Park Rose 165 a vibrant, attractive community gathering place, as well as a popular tourist attraction. The newly renovated breakfast room and Pub 165 are open to the public 7 days a week. 165 is the epitome of a buy local, serve local business, and we're delighted to award them 165, the Business of the Year. I want you all to know that Eileen was a longtime board member of the BDA.
Thank you. This means a lot. It feels great. And I want to thank the BDA for all the wonderful work they do. I want to thank the town for keeping me alive and the community, because what I really wanted 165 to be, what I really wanted the Brunswick Inn to be, was a place where the community could gather. And you've all supported that, and you've made that dream come true for me. So I'm very grateful. I'm grateful to my staff, some of whom are here this evening, but many of whom are back at the inn holding down the fort. And I want to thank my husband, Jim. Many of you don't see him at the inn because he has his own career. But without his support and He's a great sounding board for me in terms of business decisions, and he's a great cheerleader. So I want to thank him as well. I hope I see you soon there. Thank you very much.
So in keeping with the theme of this evening, All About Town, it is my pleasure to introduce the new president of Midcoast Parkview Health, Dr. Chris Bovey. Dr. Chris Bovey is the president of Midcoast Parkview Health, a nonprofit community health care system located in Brunswick, Maine, and part of Maine Health, Maine's largest healthcare system. Chris leads the organization's senior executive team and is responsible for the strategic and operational performance of Midcoast Parkview Health System. With 2,000 employees and more than 200 members on its active medical staff, Midcoast Parkview Health includes Midcoast Hospital, a full-service 93-bed hospital with 22 primary and specialty care physician practices, as well as Midcoast Senior Health and Chan's Home Health and Hospice. Prior to joining Midcoast Parkview Health, Chris came to Maine in 1999 for his residency in emergency medicine. He and his wife Stephanie quickly fell in love with Maine and determined they wanted to raise their family here. After residency, he worked at the emergency department at Maine Medical Center for 10 years. In 2013, he shifted to St. Mary's in Lewiston, Maine, first as the ED chair and then as the chief medical officer for over 4 years. Chris became the chief medical officer at Midcoast Parkview Health in April 2020. During his tenure as Midcoast CMO, Chris distinguished himself by leading the organization's response to the COVID-19 pandemic, including heading the incident command team and providing strategic and clinical leadership during the deployment of the mass vaccination clinics. Chris is a graduate of the University of Wisconsin, where he's completed both his undergraduate studies and medical school. Chris completed the Physician Leadership Fellowship at Maine Health and the advanced course at the Physician Executive Leadership Institute at the Daniel Hanley Center for the Health Leadership in Portland, Maine. He is also a member of the American College of Emergency Physicians and certified by the American Board of Emergency Medicine. Let's give a warm welcome to Dr. Chris Bovey.
Thank you so much, Brian. Thank you, everyone, for the chance to be here with you tonight. This is the second time I was here. I was here last year, and it was really exciting to have that opportunity as well. I can say that, and on today, January 26th, it's my 26th day in this new role. And for everyone in our community, there is an individual who is recognized by one name and one name alone, and that is Lois. The opportunity, yes, thank you. The opportunity to follow someone who was simply the best boss, the greatest example, and the person I emulate and want to be like in every way that I can is such an absolute privilege. The opportunity to be part of this community, the opportunity to help our healthcare team continue to deliver evidence-based, patient-centered, excellent care is what I will continue to strive to do. I will not attempt to follow in Lois's footsteps because no one can follow in Lois's footsteps. I do not think I can be recognized by one name and one name alone, and that is such a positive. But when I was in the emergency department a few days after I was identified and the announcement was made that I was taking this role, one of the nurses said, well, I'm pretty happy that we went from an ED nurse to an ED doctor. That's a good transition as long as we're keeping it in that range. So from Lois to I, and Lois has been so honorable and so kind in her confidence in me, and I expect to deliver for her and for this community. So we will be there for you, and please reach out on anything that we can help with. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Chris. I know that we're in great hands. Welcome, everyone. My name is Deborah King, and I'm the Executive Director of the Brunswick Downtown Association. And it is always such a pleasure to be able to give a huge shout out to the town of Brunswick during our annual meeting. I've had the pleasure. Nothing shabby when you get applause. I haven't said anything yet. I've had the pleasure of working with several town staff on projects and issues in the downtown core, and I'm just so appreciative of all of their assistance and guidance on issues that face our community. Parks and Recreation staff has been extremely helpful with everything from ensuring the mall was in tip-top shape for every one of our events. They keep our sidewalks clean, they make recommendations for holiday lighting, and they also assist with that installation and upkeep. A big thank you to Public Works. We needed to pivot from horse-drawn wagons for the holiday tree lighting event to the Polar Express bus. Now, their staff was very accommodating by providing us with indoor heated space to decorate that bus, and that's a big deal when it's freezing outside. And you know, those guys will work for donuts. I tell you, they're the best. And given the weather of the past week or so, I can appreciate the challenges of snow removal. Enough said. A special thank you to Sally Costello, Economic Development Director, and the Planning and Engineering Departments for working with our organization on projects that have a direct impact on downtown. These include planning the future of the vacated fire hall, parking issues, placemaking opportunities during the streetscape redesign project, and assistance for small businesses as they recover from the pandemic. Thank you so much for the support of the BDA. Given our theme of this evening, all about town, we have invited town officials to give a brief overview of what's happening in their departments. It is my pleasure to introduce our esteemed town manager, Mr. John Aldridge, followed by Chief of Police Scott Stewart, Deputy Fire Chief Jeff Emerson, and Tom Farrell, Director of Parks and Recreation. Come on up, John.
Oh, Deb. Thank you. It's always a pleasure to come to the BDA. I know that she said to keep it brief, so we have 4 people to speak, 20 minutes apiece. We should be out of here before midnight. I just want to offer congratulations from the town to the members of BDA, to the businesses downtown, and to this year's award winners, Hannah, the Crier, and 165, all great businesses like you all are. And you're all, this sounds so trite, but you're all winners because, you know, you're in a business and you continue to operate and do good things that make Brunswick the special place it is. So I want to offer again, congratulations on behalf of the town. I could go on for my remaining 19 minutes, but I'm not going to. Pay attention, there are some projects that are coming that'll have some impact in downtown. You want to pay attention to those. No need to get into any debates tonight. Anyway, again, congratulations. And I just want to say, Deb called out some of the people that work for the town. And I've been with the town now for a long time, going on 35 years. And I want to say that we have some of the best people, best employees in the town that we've ever had. So a shout out from me to them. And I ask you to honor them with a round of applause. So now it's my pleasure to introduce Chief Stewart.
Thank you. Originally she said I had 10 minutes and it was 5, and then now it's like 30 seconds, so I'll keep it brief. But last year I was sitting here when the town manager graciously offered porta potties to, well, failed to discuss who was going to take care of the mayhem at night. Just real brief, we're just very engaged in the community policing aspect here at Brunswick, and we've gone from a reactive to a more of a proactive approach. With that said, we applied for a grant through the federal government last year for a COPS, a community-oriented policing program, and Sergeant Tom Stanton now is going. This is his tonight's his maiden voyage, so he's going to be going to all these things from now on. But he's going to oversee a lot of our programs that we've already established, and we have some more that we'll bring it back and some new ones. So I'm very, very excited about that. And I'll just end with this: is there's 300 vacancies in law enforcement in the state of Maine right now, and we struggle like every other department. But I will say that we're a community, and we tote that is supported by the public and by the Downtown Association, and that's a great thing to say when we go to these hiring fairs and talk to these kids and tell them this is a great place to work. So thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Jeff Emerson with the fire department, and I kind of feel like Chief Stewart's time was partly taken up by Tom Stanton's applause, so I'm going to take a little bit longer here. Just to tell you a little bit about our year this year, the Brunswick Fire Department's had a very exciting, very busy year this year. 4,516 calls this year is what we responded to. 75% of those, or a little bit more than that, were EMS calls, and 400 patients transported to out-of-town facilities. So a big number year for us. We've delivered over 200 public safety education classes in local schools, and that is usually a little bit higher than that, but we're still rebounding a bit from COVID. And fire and life safety inspections are up over 400 this year. So very busy year for us. But probably the most exciting part of our year, as everybody's waiting to see, is the new fire station that we just moved into. And I say just moved into because it feels like we just moved into it, but we've been into it since before Christmas. A lot of times if you have moved, you realize that the very first part of moving is pretty easy, and it goes pretty quickly, and you move in and you start operating, and then comes the rest of it. And so we're officially in the rest of it phase right now. So we're working on it. We're very happy to be there. And the thing I'll leave you with is we're so fortunate to have this. We oftentimes talk about the right tools for the right job. And we weren't even in this building for, I think, a week when we opened up the Emergency Operations Center for the first time on the Christmas snowstorm that we had. And it was probably one of the most efficient emergency operations centers that we operated out of so far, and it wasn't even set up yet. So thank you to everybody. I appreciate the time tonight. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Tom Farrell, the Director of Parks and Recreation, and before I start, I have a few more slides than they do, but I know I need to be brief. What I'm going to say is Deb talked about our relationship as it pertains to the activities that go on in this community that make it a special place. And our department does a fair number of large-scale activities, but I think what people in the community maybe do not know is how well the two organizations work together to make BDA's activities that are held in downtown spaces so successful. Our staff really, I think, takes pride in providing that support, but also I know BDA's staff and the board really respects our employees, and it's just a really special relationship we have, and it's really, I think, you see it in the quality of what these events actually are for our community. So, what I'm going to talk about, next slide please, Patty. We've had improvements in the building. We moved to Brunswick Landing in 2013. It was at a time where the community was hit strongly, economic downturn, obviously when the Navy left this community. And the town was very fortunate to get that building in a no-cost benefit conveyance from the federal government. But when we moved there, we had very little in the way of resources financially to be able to invest in the building. A lot of people don't know that that building didn't have to meet local codes. The Navy does not have to do that with respect to their facility, so we had to make upgrades in the building incrementally over time. But we have finished those improvements this year. What you see on the screen is the new fitness center that opened at the Recreation Center, officially opened in November of this last year. On the far right-hand side, you see the cardio area, which is in the field house where the track is. The two photos here on my immediate left are in the strength room. And I'm pretty happy to say that in the first month and a half, we've had over 400 members sign up for use of those facilities. Next slide, Patty. We also have outfitted the balance of what was previously our preschool. The Brunswick Parks and Recreation Department, many people may not know, when we were formerly housed on Federal Street, ran a public preschool program for almost 60 years. And when the furbished school opened, the Brunswick School Department decided to offer and deliver preschool age education in that new school, and we closed the preschool. The state came to the town and said, there's a dire need for daycare. It's one of the biggest needs statewide. And we would like you, because of your record in terms of the quality of what you delivered over those years, to consider opening the balance of that space that you've closed back up as a daycare. Right now, we are looking to open approximately March 6th is our open date. We have a waiting list for parents who may need daycare. We're looking for capacity of children in that space, about 55. We're going through licensing right now. We're confident that's how many children will be able to be in the space. And you can get on a waiting list on our website if you have a family member or you're in need of childcare yourself. Next slide, please. You all may know that the Welcome Center actually opened a number of months ago. That's also housed in this same wing with the daycare and the fitness components. It's been a tremendous asset to the community. The number of asylee families that come there for services on a daily basis is really pretty impressive. And the town has a relationship with the contractual relationship with the Immigrant Resources Center of Maine, who has staff in that space. Each and every day it's open for operation. Next slide, Patty. I wanted to make the community aware that as part of this conveyance process, we almost got 700 acres in the southern part of what was the former Naval Air Station. It's now referred to as the Kate Furbish Preserve. In November, staff finished construction of the last of the trail system on the property. The property boasts now 12.5 miles of trails that can be ridden, mountain bikes, some of them can be ridden by street bikes, cross-country skiing, snowshoeing, all on Harpswell Sound. For many people who never really saw Harpswell Sound, couldn't see it from the land when the Navy was in operation because it was a secure area you'd never get to. The only way you would know it's there is if you got there by boat. It is one of the last remaining long distances of unfragmented coastline in all of southern Maine. So if you've never gone to Harpswell Sound, I encourage you to use these trails and visit it because it's an extraordinary landscape and we're so fortunate to have it. Next slide. And this is the final slide. I want to give a shout out to a few people. This is the MARC project, which is envisioned to go right next to the Recreation Center here at Brunswick Landing. I know in looking at the crowd, many of you attended a friend-raising event that we held right here with the support of Nate Wiles at Flight Deck and Marshall Shepard at Wild Oats. We did that in September. We estimate over 1,000 people were there that night to learn about the project, to contribute to fundraising, but it really was a friend-raising and an awareness builder for the project. We will be before the Town Council on February 6th this is phase 1 of the project. We're going through permitting locally and on a state level right now to get this part of the project permitted. There are subsequent phases that would include an outdoor pool and an outdoor refrigerated ice rink, but this is phase 1. We're hoping to go to construction this summer on the skate park, which is in the lower right-hand corner, and the 8 pickleball courts in that trail system you see that goes around and through the property. That would be the first phase of the project. Interestingly enough, so that you know, we made an announcement at the council meeting last Tuesday that Jim Howard and Priority Real Estate Group stepped up and has made a $100,000 contribution toward the project. Additionally, we're working with the Maine Pickleball Association, who's agreed to donate between $20,000 and $30,000 toward their component, as well as the Maine Skate Park Association, who's pledged a similar sum. I would just suggest that if you have interest in this project or any of the other slides you saw there, you can find them on the town's website, and this MARC project, www.marcproject.org. Thanks very much.
Well, thanks again to the town staff. Obviously, we have a community that is vibrant. Things are happening. Things are headed in the right direction, and it's truly is being led by an incredible team. So thank you. Welcome. So great to see so many folks here and new people. I love that. I love that. And I'm here to give you an overview as to what happened last year and what we can expect to happen in 2023. So the first thing I want to explain to you is what's the Brunswick Downtown Association all about? Well, the BDA manages a Main Street program. We're part of a national Main Street Center, which is an organization that has a proven track record for growing and revitalizing downtowns through preservation-based economic development in older and historic downtowns, the heart of our community. I, along with BDA staff and board members, will be attending the National Main Street Conference in Boston this spring. The conference provides a plethora of opportunities to learn about other Main Street programs across the country and gather some great ideas to implement in our downtown. The BDA is a membership-based organization, and as of December 30th, we have 357 members. Now that's up from 16 up from last year. This is great. Our membership is very diverse, small and large for-profit businesses, small and large non-profit businesses, and individuals and families. So what are some of our new members saying about being located in downtown Brunswick?
We just saw an opportunity in this spot. We tried to look at a couple other locations, but this one just felt right when we walked in. So it's the feeling of the town, that it's inviting, it is welcoming, it's friendly. That really drew us as well.
How's the community been? Community has been so much more receptive than I ever would have thought. In my mind, it's like, oh, it's just another baked good. We're like, Brunswick. I feel like the people of Brunswick so belong to the town of Brunswick.
The support that I get from the Brunswick Downtown Association and the people and my neighboring businesses it's been wonderful. The support is just fantastic. The community really comes together to help new businesses in Brunswick so that we can achieve success.
We attract members from not only downtown Brunswick, but other areas of Brunswick and nearby communities. While our focus is on downtown, we are encouraged by those who believe in our mission and want to support our efforts. We have membership brochures available at the registration table, so please feel free to take a few to pass along. The BDA is committed to our community. We have great staff in the office. Patty Spencer-Yost, who is our Marketing and Communications Coordinator, and Tom Barter, Membership and Events Coordinator. We are bidding a fond farewell to Tom, and we wish him well as he pursues other endeavors. Thank you so much, Patty and Tom. The BDA manages the day-to-day operations of the visitor center and is often the first point of contact for travelers to our community and the region. We have almost reached pre-pandemic ridership on the Downeaster, Concord Coach, and the local buses that arrive and depart from the visitor center, which is open and staffed 7 days a week. A huge thank you to our staff, Linda Sala, Joan Edwards, and Susan Bridge, and to our incredible volunteers, including members of Train Riders Northeast, who work tirelessly, greeting passengers and providing information on our community and surrounding areas. We were thrilled to host all of our annual events in person this year, and we saw record attendance at many of them. We started 2022 with a very successful March annual meeting, part of our speaking event series. It was our first time having the annual meeting in the evening, and it was great, and it was right here at Wild Oats. We continue to promote our small businesses and once again organized our annual Main Street Mania scavenger hunt, which encourages folks to come downtown, do a little shopping, have a bite to eat, and have some fun while doing so. Our speaking event series featured Main State Music Theater behind the scenes. We had a great time getting into the spirit of the event. And congratulations to MSMT for receiving 8 2022 Broadway World Regional Awards, including Best Local Theater. Congratulations. This past year, we introduced our Have a Seat Adirondack Chair project. We purchased 35 unfinished wooden Adirondack chairs, recruited sponsors who worked with local artists to paint the chairs, had them placed on Main Street and a couple at the library until mid-September, and then we auctioned them off. We love seeing so many folks enjoying our downtown from the vantage of a relaxing chair. Our second Friday Brunswick Art Walks have taken off. So many new artists and performers participated in the events. June was Pride Month, and together with the local chapter, we had an incredible evening working with Pride to feature local artists and entertainers. We held 10 Music on the Mall concerts, and only one was postponed due to rain. The crowds were overwhelming this year. Many concerts exceeded 1,000 attendees. Residents, visitors, and folks from neighboring communities look forward to spending time on the mall to enjoy a great lineup of free performances. Last year, we celebrated our 17th Brunswick Outdoor Arts Festival. We utilized more space on the mall for vendors, and feedback was extremely positive, with record sales reported by many participants. Every year, we attract thousands of people to downtown Brunswick to enjoy this event. Once again, we joined forces with American Legion Post 20 on their commemoration of the anniversary of 9/11, and we continue to pay tribute to our first responders and healthcare workers. We also invited and featured local nonprofits, recognizing their incredible contributions to our community. Hundreds of people gathered for a free lunch, lots of children's activities, and great entertainment. We held our last speaking event of the year at the Lamont Block in the former Knights of Pythias space. It was a fabulous venue that featured not only the newly renovated historic building, but also gave us an opportunity to present our preservation awards to the new owners, as well as to the Village Improvement Association and to Dan Catlin, owner of the Tontine Mall. We returned to the in-person live auction format this year. It was a great event in the meeting space at Fort Andros, now operated by Nomad Pizza, formerly operated by Frontier. We had some incredible auction items, and this is a photo of Judy Labby with her winning bid of 2 electric bikes on the beaches of Daytona. Our early bird sale returned to normal, with many businesses opening at 6 a.m., welcoming shoppers with great deals. Once again, comments from retailers were very positive, and many experienced record-breaking sales. Our holiday tree lighting event is one of the most anticipated events in the downtown Brunswick, and we did not disappoint. A huge crowd gathered on the mall to enjoy hot chocolate and cookies, rides on the Polar Express bus manned by Perky Plum Pants, carols by the Brunswick High School Chorus and the Una Voce Chamber Choir, visits with Santa, and of course, all culminating with the lighting of the Christmas tree. We held a very successful window decorating contest in which 18 businesses participated, the theme being kindness. Those window displays, along with our enhanced holiday lighting and personalized wreaths, created such a warm and festive atmosphere in our downtown. We changed things up this year by having a blue and white Christmas tree, more uplighting of large trees along the mall, and additional trees being lit in the downtown core. And you may have noticed that the uplit trees on the mall are now blue and white, and they've gone away from the red and green. And the 1st of February, they're going to be pink and red and white to celebrate Valentine's Day. So the response to the lighting has been overwhelmingly positive. As you can see, the BDA is very active with up to 30 events every year. We simply could not do what we do without the incredible support of our sponsors, our donors, our members, our volunteers, the town of Brunswick, and the entire community. We just want to thank you so much for your investment in Brunswick. We certainly recognize the challenges that our local business community has had to meet during 2022. We bade a fond farewell to some downtown businesses, including Butchers and Bakers, Discover on Main, Main Optometry, and Mechanics Savings. However, as commercial spaces became available, and those are few and far between, they were quickly occupied, as is evidenced by the opening of Maïs, which is a Colombian restaurant in the Odd Duck building, the Animal House in the former Fiore space, Ritual Bakehouse and Patisserie in the former Big E's space, CBD American Shaman in a portion of what was originally Joshua's restaurant, Goslin Insurance in the former music store space at the Tontine Mall, Hatch Home in the former Timeless space, Flip and Flip After Dark in the former Benchwarmer space, Lamont Collective in the former Weiler's space. The Federal opened their doors, and soon after 555 North Restaurant in the former Daniel Stone Inn opened their doors as well. The Frap Shop opened their doors in the space available in the Keith Field building. And we just learned that Brickyard Hollow will be occupying the former Butchers and Bakers space at the Tontine Mall. Breaking news.
I can't do it. Oh! 1, 2, 3.
Thank you. We're excited to be downtown Brunswick and provide as good of products as we can to the community of Brunswick. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We're ready. All right. Oh, you gonna do one? Want to do one? Hold that bottom piece there. Ready? 1, 2, push.
Thank you for having us be a part of Brunswick's community. community. Everyone has been so welcoming so far.
Thank you so much. Well, go ahead.
Being part of downtown has just been a wonderful dream of mine. The shop has been a dream of mine for so long. I am just beyond thrilled to be here today, to be cutting this ribbon and to starting a new chapter. Thank you all very much. Thank you. We ready? Yay.
Like to cut the ribbon?
Everybody back up, man.
Back up.
We ready?
Yes.
You lied to me.
Ready? Yes, ready? Yes! Preserving Associates in Brunswick!
Our membership extends beyond the downtown core, and we so appreciate the opportunity to celebrate new businesses, relocation of businesses, and expansion of these local businesses. These include Meservier's new property on Outer Pleasant Street, Portside Real Estate's new offices on Inner Pleasant Street, the relocation of Mechanic Savings to Gurnett Road, expansion of Midcoast Hunger Prevention in Brunswick Landing, Midcoast Humane Society in the Brunswick Industrial Park, Martins Point on Bath Road, Southern Maine Astronomy, and Bailey Island Motel. This year we launched our Buy Local, Buy Brunswick gift card program. And based on the response, and we activated almost $27,000 in gift cards within a couple of months, we hit the nail on the head. Folks can use the cards at 61 local businesses, all of which are BDA members, and they act just like a regular credit card, and there's no additional cost to the participating business. I actually paid for a couple of drinks at the bar tonight with my Buy Local card. Just saying. Due to the generosity of our sponsors, we were able to provide specials on the cards, providing incentives for folks to purchase the cards, especially during the holiday shopping season. So what's new for 2023? Well, 2022 was a year of growth in terms of membership, events, and programs. We will continue to fulfill our mission to promote downtown Brunswick as a vibrant and attractive place to work, live, play, and do business. However, given a significant number of our Brunswick members are not located downtown, we will be focusing some of our resources on providing additional services to this very important component of our organization. We plan to forge ahead with our regular events and programs, bringing excitement and activities to downtown Brunswick. We're going to have one more year of the Have a Seat Adirondack Chair Project, and we're going to bring back the Rolling Slumber bed races in conjunction with the Early Bird Sale. All right, everyone's clapping. You better start working on your beds, just saying. With plans to begin the downtown streetscape redesign project, we will work closely with the town of Brunswick on the scheduling of the phases and the businesses that will be impacted during the construction. We are so excited to learn that the town of Brunswick is working on a plan to construct public restrooms in downtown Brunswick. And we should have some news on the location in the very near future. So one thing that I've learned over the past 10 years with the BDA is that we need to stick to doing what we do well. Our community has so many tremendous organizations that answer the call to local issues, including food insecurity, affordable housing, affordable health care, workforce development, services for our seniors and teens, services for the homeless and transient populations, historic preservation, and arts and culture. Now, Larissa Vigu-Picard from the Pajepscot History Center just let me know that they are launching a Streetscapes program in May that will be a mobile tour of downtown businesses and offer signage and QR code stickers to those businesses for visitors, residents, and shoppers to click on and read more about the history of the building and see earlier images. Just another great addition to our community experiences. The theme of this year's annual meeting, all about town, and I want to say thank you to everyone who makes Brunswick such a wonderful community, and together we will work together. Together we work. We're going to work together in 2023, and we're going to make this the best year ever. Thank you so much.
So first, I want to thank you all for Deb for all that great information. As always, very exciting and informational. But I want to take a moment and thank Deb for the past 10 years as executive director of the BDA and with a membership here. So I want to say thank you for your dedication to the organization and the town of Brunswick. So thank you very much. I also want to thank the ward leadership for the past year. Dee, as also as Dee is chair for the past year in 2022. So thank you very much for your leadership. And I'm excited for the year ahead in 2023 for the BDA. We have upcoming events, the speaker series in April, which will be saying fond farewell to the President Clayton Rose of Bowdoin College. Music on the Mall, the Art Festival, and the always fun bed races coming up, just to name a few. We also want to thank and we'll continue our relationship with looking forward to continuing the relationship with the town. And also, I want to thank and appreciate Sally for attending our board meetings on a monthly basis. And that communication is extremely important to the organization as well. As the BDA, we will work with the stakeholders to help minimize in the next year the impact as expected sidewalk and bridge improvements, and at the same time, shining a light on our members and businesses in the local community. So I want to thank you very much for coming this evening, and want to have Tom Barter come up and we'll do a drawing for the 2 winners of the Buy Local, Buy Brunswick gift cards.
All right, just a reminder, these gift cards are good at about 60 membership businesses in the Brunswick area. So, winner number 1, you need to have your ticket ready. It's a blue ticket. Last 4 numbers, let's go with that. 5307. 5307. I see a winner. Come on up.
Sure. All right. I'll have you pay the next.
All right.
I know you said.
All right. Congratulations.
Thank you, Caitlin. Congratulations. Our next winner, the last 4 numbers, 5346. Nate Wild! Whoops, sorry. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
This is my first time winning anything, Tom.
So with that, I would like to officially adjourn the 2022 annual BDA meeting. And thank you all for coming.